Hello, and welcome back to Elin's Masterclass. So, we're doing a review of the masterclass of different writers and authors and screenplay writers. So, we are focusing on R.L. Stein's ideas. He talks a lot about ideas in his masterclass. So, that's what we are talking about today, and this is part two. So if you didn't catch part one, make sure you watch that, and then come back to this one. So R.L. Stein likes to call where he gets ideas from the idea store, which I think is really cool. I think that's neat. And in the idea store, there are three departments. There's imagination, there's memory, and there's experience. So he draws from those three things to get ideas. So, memory. When we're talking about memory, we can go all the way back to when we were children and think about what are the things that we were afraid of? What are the things that we were scared of? And he talks about in his memory, him and his brother used to wait for their parents to come home, and they were always worried that about them being out and when they would get back. And I think we all probably kind of got memories like that as children. Maybe you were home in the house and your parent or your parents went out to do something, and you were left with a babysitter or maybe an older sibling, and you really were like wondering, when they would get back home, or even be worried about them. I think, a lot of people probably had that form of anxiety as children. And he built it into a story. And he created a story where the parents left and they didn't come back. So he built the whole story around that. So, there's lots of different things that you can think back into your memory of some things that you were afraid of, and you can start from there to try to build an idea from your memory. And then experience. And so when he is talking about experience, what he's talking about is listening to other people talk and hearing other people's conversation. Now, this was a lot easier to do, of course, before the pandemic of 2020, because we were moving about freely, and you could go to a restaurant, or you can go to the playground, or anywhere, and you would hear people talking and people having conversations. It's a little bit more difficult to do that now because people are wearing masks, but when you are out, you still can hear a conversation. You can still hear people talking, or if you take an Uber, you might talk to the Uber driver or the Lyft driver. So there's different things that's going on when you still are in contact with total strangers, and you might be ear hustling, and you hear somebody and you hear what they're talking about, and you can build a story around that because you can think up things that might be happening. So one of the examples that he used was he was watching this young boy get on a plane. They were at an airport, and right before he got on the plane, the parents gave him a white envelope. So he built a whole story around it, saying that when the young boy got on the airplane, he opened up the envelope, and it went on to discuss how they were not really his parents. And he went on from there. I don't remember if they were aliens or he was supposed to be an alien or what, but he built a story from that, from just from that experience and thinking, well, what if this happened? Which takes me into the what ifs. The what ifs is your imagination, according to R.L. Stein, and it's always like, what if this happened? What if that happened? You take those, you take something that, and you just add a what if to it. So like if you're in the kitchen and you're cooking, and this is something that you do every day, this is your routine, but today you're in the kitchen, you're cooking, and then what if a total stranger came in, sat down at your table, and was ready to eat breakfast with you and refused to leave and then told you, I live here. So you can go on and on and on with the stories, from thinking about those three departments, as R.L. Stein says, which is thinking about your experiences, your memory, and your imagination. Now, of course, he goes on to give a lot more examples of those. But I'm sure you can also think right now. You can think of different what if situations. That's a good place to start. I really like that theme that he had going through the ideas lesson. It's really, I think that's a really good one that you should write down, the what ifs. Now I have in front of me, and I'm going to show you what I have, because I printed this out. So here is a list. I'm going to read from this list of ideas. R.L. Stein was kind enough to give us 20 ideas for a story. Now remember, R.L. Stein writes scary fiction for children. So a lot of his ideas are going to lean towards that. But you can always tweak the ideas for whatever it is that you're writing. And and most of the stuff that we're talking about is fiction. So hopefully this will help you if you're struggling with what you want to write. So here's 20 story ideas for you from none other than R.L. Stein. 1. A creepy doll comes to life. Now that's interesting. And they've done that. Chucky, right? Chucky came to life. And a real scary one is Annabelle. That doll came to life. And I remember even years ago when they had the dummies, the ones that you put your hand in and you make them talk. I remember years ago there used to be even on the radio where the dummy came to life, and then the person who was the okay, put in the comments what that is. The person who speaks for the dummy. I can't think of the word. It's right here though. But the person who was speaking would think that he lost his mind or something, because now the puppet is talking on his own. Ventriloquist. Thank you. Ventriloquist. Okay. Got it. So 2. A scene from a nightmare comes true the next day. Okay. Days go by and your parents don't come home. That was the idea we talked about, where the parents don't come home. And I told you that he did write a story about that one. You feel yourself slowly becoming a monster. I like that one. It's like you keep looking in the mirror and you're just changing every day. The first thing that comes to my mind when I think about something like that is The Fly. Remember The Fly, where he was doing an experiment and every day he started to become a fly? He didn't know what he was becoming at first, but then he realized that something went wrong and the fly got in the pod with him. Yeah, that's a good one. I really like that. You can really get a good story out of that. Your friends start to disappear and no one even notices. Let's think about that one. I like it. I like that one too. Got any people around you who you wouldn't mind just disappearing? Interesting. Okay. You're lost in the woods and you don't know how you got there. I've seen that one done a few times. But as I'm saying these ideas, can you see how these ideas have run through different movies that you've seen? Especially, the movies and TV series. Yeah. People just keep using ideas over and over and over, and they just put their own twist on it, their own stamp, as we talked about before. You're inhabited by a ghost that controls you and makes you do crazy things. Okay. You have no reflection in the mirror. Can anybody say Dracula? Vampires? The teacher is a monster, but no one believes you. I like that one. You hypnotize your brother and you can't snap him out of it. I seen a Martin episode of that where I think it was Gina. Gina couldn't get out of... No, every time they clapped, she would go back into whatever she was hypnotized to do. That one was funny. That could be funny. That could be scary. Yeah, that one could be a lot of different things. A fortune teller reveals that you are evil. You're just no good. You ain't no good. You think you're a nice person. No, you're not. Someone follows you home, and it's your exact double. I've seen that done quite a few times. You find a diary that tells the future. Every time you wake up, you're a different person. That's a different twist on the Groundhog Day, where you wake up and you're in the same day. So it's kind of a twist on that. You wake up and you're a different person. Your parents explain that you're actually an alien from another planet. I just talked about that one where the guy gets the letter, the little boy gets the letter on the plane, and maybe they're telling him that he's actually an alien. You're not a human being. What if somebody told you that? You know someone is watching you day and night from the house across the street. Now, doesn't that happen every day in the hood? Come on, you got the woman who's standing at the door. She's always watching. She knows everything. Or either he, could be he too. They know everything. They know everything. They don't tell you, but they know it. You realize that you're shrinking. True story. We do shrink as we get older. You lose some bone density. While reading a scary book, you realize that you're a character in it. I love that one. I really like that. That's an interesting one. I might use that one. I like that. You might see a book from me with that idea in it. I just got to tweak it, make it mine, and, boom. I really like it. Someone is living in your mirror. That's just like, remember the one, someone's living in your wall, the walls of the house. That's been done several times. But it's like I said, it's how you do it, right? Because there's nothing new under the sun. Everyone knows the new neighbors are vampires, and the kids invite you over for a sleepover. You're like, I ain't going over there. Y'all not biting my neck. So I thought it was great that R.L. Stein gave those 20 ideas. If you would like a copy of the 20 ideas, I can email it to you, but you have to put your email address in a message. You can message me on Facebook or on YouTube, because all of these videos are on my YouTube channel. And you can Elin, E is a space and then Lynn. So check out my YouTube channel, and I can get you those 20 ideas from R.L. Stein. I will send it to you in a PDF format if you want to go over some of those. So those are some really good ideas. I think that that's what stood out with me with his masterclass was all the information that he gave. He gave like a whole workbook. It's like about 60 pages. The ideas is just one page out of everything that he put in the workbook. So I think he really tried to give lots of information on ideas and how you can begin to write your story. So I think that his R.L. Stein, I think it was awesome. I think he's been around for so many years. Come on. So, I mean, his work speaks for itself. And I think he did an excellent job on his masterclass. And I'm glad I had the opportunity to bring it to you to highlight some of the things that he talked about and to help you along with whatever it is you are planning on doing, whatever it is that you want to write. And so, one of the themes that are going through, remember, you want to hear it and keep hearing it, is that you got to write. You got to write every day. You continue writing. And that's how you're going to get to the end of your story, because you're working on it every day. So it was so glad to see you again and talk with you again. Thanks for attending my masterclass, lesson 2. And we talked about R.L. Stein's ideas. So meet me again right here, same place. And we're going to move on to another author. And we're going to be talking about what's next. So see you then. Have a great, wonderful day.